Welcome to Spiritual as Fuck,
Spiritual as fuck.
where spirituality meets the real world. I'm Liz Volpe, serial entrepreneur, passionate changemaker, and intuitive. I love inspiring people to dream big and create positive change in the world.
I'm Dianne Driscoll, a coach, facilitator, and speaker who uses channeled insights to activate transformation in leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers.
We share real and raw spiritual stories, give you a safe space to challenge what's normal, and have some serious fun along the way.
Come join us as we get spiritual as fuck.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to a very special Christmas episode. Now, we are here today live with some of our very special listeners at our Christmas Cards with John event. So, I guess you'd call this not an average holiday gathering because we're going to be mixing our normal spiritual AF chit chat, bringing in John, tarot by John, actually, and talking all things tarot, intuition, loads of festive magic with loads of fun, guidance, and loads more. So, on that note, let's officially welcome him. A big round of applause if you are in the car, driving, sat at home, ready for Christmas. The incredible John Holden, aka Tarot by John. Yay!
Hello
Thanks for being here, John.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
It's really good to be back with you guys again. So,
Thank you. And I was just mentioning before that the last episode that we had you on was just so successful. We had so many of our listeners from around the world reaching out. Yeah, it's a pleasure to come back on and talk tarot again. And I think we'll go a few different places. What do you think, Dianne? We won't just keep it to tarot.
Oh, definitely. It's like there's so much more going on in the world of spirituality that we're curious about with you, John.
good. I can't wait to see where it takes us.
Well, yeah, be ready to share these secrets today, please, John.
Okay.
And it's going to be super exciting because towards the end of the interview, we're actually going to be getting you to do some live readings with some of our members that are online today, which is going to be cool as well. So, yes, if you're listening at home, keep listening because it's going to get exciting, I think. So, I thought long and hard about the first question here, John, because we've covered all of the tarot basics before. And I thought, seeing as though it's Christmas, I'm going to ask you an extremely important one. If you were wearing your favorite Christmas jumper right now, what tarot card would be on the front?
Oh, that is a really good question. If I was wearing my favorite Christmas jumper, what tarot card would be on the front? There's actually two I would put on it. One is the Three of Cups, which I absolutely adore that card. All about community, friendship, celebration, happiness, and generally leaving anxiety at the door while you rest your mind and replenish all the good things. And the other would be the World, the very last tarot card in the Major Arcana, because every day is a new opportunity to start something, end something, deal with something. But it's also about looking to the horizon. We need to understand that our hope for dreams and aspirations are already realized somewhere. We just have to tap into it. So the world is telling us every day that there are new experiences for us to experience. So yeah, they're my two. But if I had to pick between the two of them, probably the World.
Oh, well, I know what I'm getting you for Christmas next year, John.
She's going to start knitting tomorrow, John.
Oh, God. I don't know about that.
There may be an extra arm on it, but you'll be okay.
Good.
Oh gosh, I love that, John. I think that's such Liz, I have to say, great question because it's like I was thinking myself, oh, what would I have on it? But definitely Three of Cups would be up there. It is such a beautiful, beautiful card. John, I am really interested to know, just like so much of our last episode, focused on, I guess, the difference between, say, tarot and oracle and just your experience with tarot. But I would love to know, how do you use tarot cards in your own daily life? Like, do you, if you've got one of those critical decisions to make in life, or it might just be, do I go out for dinner? Do I not? Do you reach for the cards as part of your day-to-day toolkit for yourself for leading your own life?
Yes, there are, well, every day or nearly every day, I post a card on my social media. So card of the day, message from the universe. There's a
Yeah.
couple of reasons why I do that. One of it is that's actually my card, what I've pulled, and I'm sharing it with the collective. So the intention I set
Oh,
is I don't do me, I do we. What do we need to know today? So
yes.
that's section one, and I do that. The other is then, throughout the day, if I'm an overthinker by nature, so in order to help me with that, I do use tarot, but I am not a good reader for myself. I can read for others fluidly, but when it
Yes.
comes to me, it's like I'm looking into muck sometimes. So I have to be very clear about how I set my question or my intention. And two good friends of mine, Bex Tarot and John Sky Tarot, they taught me a little alternative. So what we do is, the majority of us have more than one name. So I'm John Paul Nicholas. So if I'm pulling a question, I put it in third person. What does Nicholas need to know, or what does Paul need to know? So I'm taking myself out of it so I can be more
Oh,
objective. So that is a really good skill, really good tool, and that's what I do. But yes, there are the big decisions, and I've made quite a few over the last 12 months. I have
yes.
consulted cards and Oracle and all that. But yeah, it's a fantastic tool, and tarot in conjunction with intuition, your own ability, you really can't beat it. It's going to be your best friend. It's going to be your spirit guide. It's going to be, the voice of reason and sometimes
Yeah.
devil's advocate, but we have to be open, objective, and use it as a tool for perspective.
Mm.
I love that. I need to jump in with a part two because this is what's screaming in my head when you're saying that. And I'm sure for any of our listeners or audience members here today, there are those times where, you're asking a question of the card. So you're there, you're shuffling, you're reading into it, and then it's almost like, oh, that's not the answer I wanted.
I
or,
want,
or
yeah,
it's not giving
Let's try
it's not
again.
exactly. I'm just or
10 times later.
the best of three. What do
yeah,
you
yeah.
do in that situation? Like from a practical standpoint, what is your guidance to people that, okay, I'm not getting exactly what I wanted, which of course then that's the ego stepping in and
Yeah.
we're trying to control our future.
Well, normally I'm like Liz. I'll keep going until I get the card I'm looking for, but I don't do that anymore. What I would say is, if it's not the answer you're looking for, just uh, add a question to it and just put, and what do I need to learn from this? So, for example, I've had the tower falling out every time I touch a deck recently. And I said, well, what is it that I need to know? And it's all about, not worrying or not being anxious about change. And, change starts from here. So, nothing changes if nothing changes, but I have to be the one
Yeah.
to do it. So, as soon as I let go of the fear attached to change, well, then I start seeing other cards coming out like Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. So we're seeing that movement. But if you get a card that you think, oh God, why this one? Just say, and what do I need to learn? And why this has come
Yeah.
out because I need to learn what, and it will
Yeah.
communicate with you. But you're again, you have to be almost like you are removing yourself from the situation. So you're reading opposite yourself. So you're looking at, okay, well, what is it that John needs to know right now? Or what is it that Dianne needs to know? You're
Yeah.
talking about yourself. So to go with
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
And it does work a treat, it does take a bit of getting used to, but again, I would just say, ask yourself, what do I need to learn? And it will tell you. Or you could pull another card to say the reason I got this card is because, and then you see
Yeah.
something.
Oh, yeah,
That
we've all
would
done that
devil.
one, haven't we? I love that.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. Or even sometimes pulling out another deck. Like sometimes I think, oh,
yeah,
I'm
Oh,
going to
yeah.
have I use a clarifying deck. So here's the core question. And then it's like, I'm going to use this one for clarification. I love hearing how your recommendation, I love that you're saying about putting ourselves into third person because I've never
yeah,
done that. I've
Mm.
never,
yeah,
yeah, it's a really good idea because it does detach you from, yeah, kind of
yeah.
over engineering the response.
Oh,
It
right.
does.
We'll definitely
So
be trying that.
yeah. Oh, it works a treat. It works a treat. So I have to thank John and Bex for that. So yeah,
Oh,
I
yes.
wish I
Thanks,
could
Thank
John and
take.
Bex.
you.
I wish I could take the what you call it for that, but I can't.
Oh, I guess what we're talking about here is the big word trust. Because wherever anyone is on their spiritual journey, I think everything leads back to trust. And I know for myself, learning to use oracle cards and tarot cards and having those situations when, you'll get the same card jumping out or you're shuffling again and again. And you have to get to the point of trusting. And I know Dianne asked you this, but I would love to know if you can give us a really great story of a time where you've had to trust the cards with that big life decision. Can you just share a nice, juicy story of something big you've done?
I can. So way back when, I was, I had a corporate job. I, was working 50, 60 hours a week. I was very unhappy. And then I was doing tarot readings in the evening. And the reason why I did that was because I needed to disassociate myself with the negative energy of being a customer care manager in the corporate world and tune into people in a good way. So tarot for me was that escape, was allowing me to put John, the customer care manager, to one side and focus on John, the tarot reader, the spiritual person, that kind of thing. But it was, the universe was giving me signs, was making me very uneasy in my job. It was giving me some uneasy colleagues to deal with and that kind of thing. So I did consult the cards and I said, look, what is it that I should do? What's the energy around my current position is what I did. And of course, Power, Ten of Swords came up and I'm thinking, oh, I'll start again. No, I didn't. So I said to myself, what do I need to do with this? And then it was like the Hermit, the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups kept coming out again and again and again. I was thinking, okay, so right now, my job pays the bills, gives me a nice lifestyle. I can have anything I want. So, what is the fear here? And then we were seeing the devil. So, attachment to the money, attachment to the position, attachment to the comfort. I'm thinking, okay, well, I need to change. I need to do something. But I'm also not someone, I'm not very impulsive. So, I have to mull things over again and again and again. So I kept asking the cards the same question, and they kept throwing the devil, tower, death, Eight of Cups. I was thinking, okay, that's the message. So I said, well, what's the energy around, my changing? What if I move? What if I, leave my job and do something else? And, honestly, the cards were saying, High Priestess, you just have to trust yourself. You have to look at your situation objectively and make a decision, but you also have to trust your intuition. And my intuition was telling me, John, this job will kill you. You have to get out here. You've been here 25 years. It's time to, four non blonde still running up that hill, and I said, it's time to move. It's time to go. So I was very anxious, but I remember the day I handed in my notice, it felt like a knee had been lifted from my chest. And I'm thinking, I know I've made the right decision. And from that day, when I consulted the cards or I was asking questions, they were hopeful. It was like Nine of Wands, Ace of Wands, Eight of Wands. So there was a lot of pace being picked up. But the flip side of all that is, and I was using all oracle cards as well, particularly the Gateway Oracle by Denise Lynn and her one of her other ones. I think it's Sacred Destiny. I was using both of those, and we kept seeing things like the Phoenix and stuff like that coming in. So I knew that I had the ability to, reinvent myself. I had the ability to step outside my comfort zone to do something different. The cards were all kind of lining me up to say, you are in control here, but you have to be the one who puts that first step on that path. No one's going to do it for you. So it was a big decision. I didn't regret it, but it did take a lot of reassurance. So I looked to others and other readers to say, oh, could you help me with this? Again, they were going, oh, we have the tower. I'm thinking, oh, here we go. The tower just disappeared.
Sign your sign.
Yeah, I'll go back to Liz's question. What tarot card do you want in your jumper? The tower.
Yeah.
But it all changed then. I started seeing the Magician, Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, and then I started connecting with people. Like out of nowhere, I was getting these offers to do podcasts and all that kind of thing. So I think I'm definitely on the right path. But tarot, that kind of initial quitting my job, handing in my notice, it was tarot that guided me to that. Yes.
I have to just ask before we move on this one, because I know for a fact there's going to be so many listeners listening to this right now who are feeling that sense of unhappiness in their job. Like lots of people are going through these really big challenges at the moment. And I'm kind of trying to put myself in that position. All right, if I'm grabbing out my deck of cards and you've got this great positive story, and they go and do a shuffle and the tower pops out and they're like, holy shit, I need to quit my job.
Yeah.
Especially if they don't have experience with tarot, like what should they do if that happens? Or do you have any advice for the
Well,
early tarot users in that situation?
if the tower falls out and you're asking about career and movement and the tower falls out, again, I would just come back to what is going on, what's the energy right now with my job, my career, that it is giving me the tower. So what's going on? Am I having some difficult times with my manager? Are the team difficult? Targets unattainable? Am I unhappy? And I feel if you answer those questions and then say, okay, well, how do I improve this? And you pull another card, and let's just say you get the Ten of Swords. Don't panic. Ten of Swords is just telling you that this is going to come to an end, and there's a natural element here. It may not be, it may not be all love and light, but it may just be tough love to get you to that kind of advantageous position, so you can look with perspective on what's going on around you. The key with tarot is that tarot doesn't always give you the answer. It will give you
Yes.
questions to make you question things. So you are not just going to fall into conformity and say, okay, well, this is what society says I have to do. Tarot will say, is it? Question mark. So don't panic and don't rush anything. Take your time, journal on it. I mean, I've got a tarot, I don't have it with me, but I have a tarot journal that's probably older than Moses at this stage, but I just keep adding to it.
I've
Well,
got a lot of those.
if I get something like that, I will journal on it and I'll say, okay, well, these are the reasons behind it. This is what I'm feeling right now. If I was more experienced, I would say these are some of the steps I'm going to take to alleviate this. If I wasn't as experienced and a new tarot reader, I would say I would take it day by day. What can I do today to make a change? Pull a card. And no matter what it tells you, whether it's, Six of Swords, Seven of Swords, respect it. So if it's Six of Swords, change your route in work. So if you normally, walk through accounts to get to HR, go through a different department or go outside to come back in. Some people don't understand the benefit of stepping outside into the fresh air to come back in with a clear head and do something. And I used to do that all the time. Caveat, I did smoke as well at that particular time. Well, up
Probably
until
need
5
you doing
years
that
ago.
job.
Well, really. But stepping out, grounding, coming back in, that kind of thing, it gives you, and even at home doing that as well.
Yeah.
Step outside, ground, taking a few deep breaths, come back and have a look, but never fear the tower. The tower just is telling you that, things are changing, you're going to feel uncomfortable with it, but it is all about growth, so
Yeah.
the only way is up when we see the tower, well, after the fall. Yeah, the only
Yes.
way is up. So
I
never
can just
worry
imagine
about it.
on Instagram, there's going to be a lot of listeners sending us tower cards from now on.
Yeah,
With a
exactly.
woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, can't wait for this, Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I love what you said there, John. You really made me realize, like, I mean, I've been reading my own tarot cards since I was about 15, but you've given me something through that story, which I haven't done, and now I'm looking forward to it, which is if you have a decision to make, like I often will go, I'll go to the cards and I'll like, what do I need to do next? What do I need to learn? Or here's a past, present and future
Yeah.
card. But how you frame that about what if I made this decision? So, what if I left this company? What if I left this relationship? And then you pull a card for that. I've never done that. Like, I really feel I've never done that. But then it's like you're playing out, and you could even have it if I take this path or if I take this path,
Yeah.
because whichever one is showing you the brighter future, or the priestess is a beautiful card to get, compared to the tower. It's like those are the things that you kind of think, oh, at least it's nudging you in the right direction, particularly for someone who is new to the cards. But I really love that as a way of
Yeah.
reframing how you ask the questions. Are there anything else like that that comes to mind that you think would be helpful in terms of how you frame a question, or how you get the best out of using your cards, whether it's
Yeah.
tarot, whether it's oracle, whether it's multiple decks? Like, what do you have any other kind of pearls of wisdom you can share with us there?
Well, I always would step away from yes/no questions because
Yeah.
there's just not enough nuance in the question. So, am I going to be a successful tarot reader? And you pull the Ten of Swords, and you're thinking, oh, okay, well, I'm going to try be a farmer now because the Ten of Swords is telling me no. But in reality, the Ten of Swords is just telling you that, not everyone is going to be a champion on your journey. Not that you will have to fight and you will have to stand up for yourself, and the old version of you will be gone and something new will come in. But as an experienced tarot reader, I know that. As someone who isn't, they might say, oh, no, that's it now. Going to be a bus driver. So not that there's anything wrong with being a bus driver or a farmer, but stay away from yes, no questions. So I would say a bit like, what is the best possible outcome of me being a tarot reader? Or what could I expect from a career in spirituality or reading tarot? So it's like putting a bigger, because it gives you the opportunity to, pull another card or to expand the question and what's the best that could happen, And so it is about putting the positive spin on it. And I mean, we have to be very careful. There is a fine line between positivity, objectivity, and toxic positivity. So we have to be very careful that we're not just we're leaving the love and light in front of us and we're ignoring everything else. So it is a mix of, okay, well, if I go through these different kind of experiences, or I experience this negativity, how do I come out of that? So it's more about looking at the bigger picture and then breaking that down into sections. So I know everyone's not going to be a champion for what I do, but how do I deal with that? And how do I take steps to do that? So never worry. The more words you get into your question, the better it is. It basically. So put
Okay.
as many words in. Keep it open-ended. Try not to have a closed question. Am I going to win the lotto? I'm going to tell you no. And what could I do to help my chances in winning the lotto? We could say, okay, well, we look at, well, why do you want to win the lotto? Do you have fear around scarcity and lack? And so we look at bigger things.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That is such good advice. I can just think of all of the yes and no questions I've asked my card deck over the years, and I realised how wrong I've been doing it. So thanks for that. I'm interested because obviously we've now known you for quite a while and we've followed your journey. It's just been amazing to see how you've taken that jump and trusted the cards and gone on your journey now as a full-time tarot reader. You've got a huge audience, like huge. How do you manage trolls? Like, do you find there are those hardcore negative people out there that are judging and giving you the bad feedback? Does that happen? And how do you actually cope with that?
I I am exceptionally blessed and lucky. I rarely have trolls. I rarely get people, you
Oh,
know,
Wow.
saying, "Oh, repent and turn to the Lord," and that kind of stuff. I I have very few. I would say I'm reading tarot for 175 years, and out of that time, I think if I've had four or five, that is it. Now, the thing about social media is, you do get people who want to give you their opinion.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing I have is people giving their interpretation of the card I've presented or questioning my interpretation.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. It's not tarot's not a closed book. So, as long as you have the basics and the core ideas, there is room for intuition and expansion and poetic license, so long as you are staying to the core. But I am very lucky. The trolls that I have had, how have I dealt with them? Delete, block, I don't engage. My job is not to convince you that
yes.
tarot is great. And it's a tool for expansion, self-exploration. If you don't believe it, well, you're choosing your own adventure. But I am not going to get on a soapbox and say that, oh, tarot, if you don't believe in tarot, we can't be friends. Of course we can't be friends, but you're just missing out because you don't believe in tarot. But I'm not going to
Yeah.
convince you. And I think when I made peace with that, that's when I started living a different life. I used to feel very defensive when people say, oh, that's just BS, or you're making it all up. Like, and going back to the old days when I would go into people's houses to read tarot, and they would take pictures off the walls and take their wedding rings off. I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you have kids. That's not what I'm here. This is not a circus. I am not a performing monkey. We're going to be talking about opportunities. We're going to be looking at the likely outcomes of things. I'm not going to be
Yeah.
trying to guess how many kids you have and that kind of stuff.
Have you ever had something like that's the trolls online? Have you ever had an experience where you're doing a reading for someone and they're, maybe shutting you down
Yeah.
or,
Freaking out.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, or,
Yeah, I have.
blessing themselves in the middle of
We've
it?
got to hear this one.
I have. Back in the day, so I'm going back probably 20 years, 19, 20 years. I worked with a very gifted medium and we
Mm.
together, so we were Carol and John. She was a medium, I was a tarot reader. We were
Ooh.
very popular in Dublin, Meath, Kildare in Ireland.
Mm.
But we went to one particular house and I knew from the get-go the vibe was off straight away, you know. So
Uh-oh.
we were reading and things were going well until the last lady. And I'm like a dog with a bone. So if she was there for a reason, but everything we said was no, can't relate, no, 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 no. And I was getting really frustrated. And I was thinking, okay, well, is there another question you want to ask? I'm looking like you've been here for an hour. We need to move on here. And she was going, no, no. And then Carol was bringing people in. She's going, oh, I have no idea who that is and all that. So we said, you know what? We let it go. That's fine. And she's going, oh, I'm really disappointed and all that. And I'm thinking, look, we're very sorry, but look, we won't charge you. You know, you've taken up nearly 2 hours of our time, but we'll just, in love and light, we'll send you off. So we happened to say it to the host that, oh, X wasn't very happy. And she said, well, she came out with a smile on her face. I went, sorry.
Oh.
So we said, oh, we have these people, and they went, oh, no, we know who you're talking about. We know this. So she was so kind of irritated that we were getting things right and we were right on the mark that she obviously thought we were too big for our boots and we needed to be brought down a peg. So she was going to say no to everything.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
That put us off for quite some time.
Yeah.
That because there is a certain element of trust between you and client. The trust is that if you ask a question, that they will truthfully answer it,
Mm.
Yes.
and that's an
Yes.
unwritten rule. But this lady obviously thought different, and she thought, because we did see other things on social media that she had said about us, that we asked lots of questions, and but that's
Yeah.
the nature of the beast. If you want a good reading with me, you can expect I'm going to ask you a load of questions because
Mm.
if you're
Yeah.
paying me €100. I'm going to make sure that you get your money's worth. And I'm not going to be talking about, things that are way off 50 years. I'm going to be talking about what's happening next week, next month, next year. And in
Yes.
order to do that, I need to know where you are right now. So I'm going to be asking you a load of questions. And that
Mm.
is a good tarot reader will ask you questions. If you want a fortune teller, well, then, they're going to say different things and they're going to be talking about totally different things. But I don't know. The more I'm doing this, the more it's turning into like tarot coaching, a few different things coming together, and I'm seeing that quite some time. But there are people who will just shut you down from the get go, and that makes me very anxious. Yeah.
I have to say something here, though. I remember even from quite a young age, and I don't know where this information has come from. I don't know if it's like an old wives' tale, but I remember it just being a thing. Like when you go to see a tarot reader or a psychic, don't show any emotion, sit with a
Yes.
poker face. Don't say yes or no, don't ask questions, and just a good, a good reader is going to just be able to
Mhm.
tell you everything. And I remember going to readings, literally being like, yeah, no, yeah, really not trying to
Yeah.
give anything away yet. Now I know as a reader, yeah, the more that you ask me, the more that you tell me, in some cases, I can
Yeah.
go so much deeper. So I'd
Oh
like to
yeah,
just
yeah.
tell everybody that, like, don't go into a reading without being as open as you possibly can.
Because
Yeah.
what you
And
put into it, you get back. So if you
yes.
are being nonchalant or you're well, we're going to have to be the same back because we're thinking, okay, well, not hitting the mark here, so we're going to leave this nugget and move on to a different nugget. So you're going to get a very
Mm.
bitty reading about,
Mhm.
and it's going to be finished very quick. And because as a reader, we're not going to drag it out. If you're
Yeah.
there for half an hour and saying no, 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 we're going to say, okay, well, in love and light, we'll send you off then. Now, but I have to say, exception rather than the rule. I have been very lucky. I love what I do. I connect. My theory is that everyone I read for, that I have been connected to in some way, shape, or form over the millennia in many different lifetimes. So I'm saying that this is more of a reconnection than a connection. So that's how
Oh.
I talk myself off that edge and anxiety and stuff. So because even to
Yes.
this
Yeah.
day, at 46 years of age, reading tarot since I was 19, I get extremely anxious before every reading. And I say to myself, why do you put yourself through this on a daily
Yeah.
basis? And to
Oh,
me, that controls ego. That means I never get too big for my boots. I never think I'm the best. I think I have my place in the world to read tarot for the people who come to me. These are my connections. These are my tribe, and that's it. This is my job to do. So I'm not going to be someone, having my own TV program or anything like that, because I would be literally, I'd be too stoned from the anxiety and stress and sweating. So,
you
you
don't
know,
know. I can actually see it. RTE will be calling tomorrow.
oh God, no thanks.
You put
No,
it out there. You put it out there.
no thanks. No, shutting that down
Oh,
immediately.
I think that's wonderful advice too, because even if you're just doing readings for yourself or if you're branching out and starting to read for other people, it's lovely to hear that and to know that,
Mm.
not that anybody wants to set themselves up for a lifetime of anxiety of doing readings, but to
No.
know that you still, but
Yeah.
generally we have the nerves, the anxiety because we care. Like there's a weight of
Well, yeah, we
responsibility
want
for
to
the
we want
message
to
that
get it
we're, yeah,
right. Yeah,
yeah,
there is
which
a
is
big responsibility.
beautiful. Yeah,
And that's what
yeah,
I would say to people as well. When you're choosing a reader, choose on the connection. Don't look at their followers. Don't look at what they're posting. Look at the reader. And well, maybe look at what they're posting, see if it resonates with you. So because
yeah,
there's many different styles, and some readers are you know straight in there like a knife. That's not
yeah.
me. I'm more, let's look at the negative, but let's focus on how we can get the best out of this rather than, oh, that's it now, curtains, move
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
So I like to kind of cushion things and look at many different options and opportunities that come from a negative situation.
Yeah,
Mm.
beautiful. And it is get the most out of your reading by participating with it. And I think, again, for new readers coming in who may be starting to to do readings for others, have it like say that up front because,
Yeah,
do you want to pay €100 to be a skeptic?
yeah,
Like,
no,
it's your
no,
money.
yeah, I'll
You're
take
better
it.
off giving some degree of,
But
because it's only
get,
then that it is that collective energy. And Liz and I hear that from, so many of our guests. It is that thing. It's work with your reader and you will
yeah,
get the most out of it. Yeah, you don't have to give away all of your information, but at
no,
least validate everything that's coming through or add to
yeah,
it. So yeah,
or ask the
great.
question, yeah, or add to it. The other thing I would say is for budding readers, uh,
Yes.
and this one's going to be difficult, but do not benchmark your abilities on someone else because you don't know where they are on their journey. Like I get people saying, "I wish I could read cards like you," and I'm saying, "Well, you will in 10 years' time, or you will, you
Yeah.
are always learning with tarot." I look, social media is a great place to learn. And I add new kind of meanings or new kind of connections with my interpretations daily. So, it is an evolving skill. So don't
Yeah.
benchmark your success or your ability on someone else.
Oh, beautiful.
John,
John, I do want to ask before we go into the readings and that, is there any decks that you particularly, maybe something new that has crossed your path or anything that you've added to your toolkit, or even has your senses expanded in any way since we've been speaking to you last?
Well, you know me, I'm Morgan Greer all the way. So this is the tarot deck that I've been using since probably about 2003, 2002, 2003. I absolutely love
Yeah.
it. Mwah. It's been very good to me. I owe it nothing. But I have become fascinated with oracle decks over the last year since we last spoke. There
Yeah.
have been many, and I do have to give a shout out to Rockpool. I have a lot of their decks, oracle decks, and US Games, who have been very kind to me over the last number of years by sending me stuff. But there is one particular deck, and I kind of preempted that you might actually ask this question.
ooh,
And it is
Ah,
from Northern Lights Tarot, and it's her new deck. I got
oh,
this a couple of weeks ago. It is the Northern Lights Strength deck, and I'll just give you a little. It is, from what I know, it's kind of based or a little bit based on the major arcana. Um,
mhm.
so we've got things like self-regulation, humor, temperance. So this is a deck to use in conjunction with. And I absolutely, it's like a little add-on. It's an
Lovely
amazing
pictures.
deck. Yeah,
Oh,
she is
gorgeous. Yeah.
fantastic. So this, I have been very much focused on tarot and oracle and how we can marry the two together to give a more kind of well-rounded reading.
Yes.
So we can have that hug from the oracle and we can have that scold from the tarot, you
I
know. So
love that.
That's such a good way of putting it.
yeah, yeah.
John,
Harsh message in the hug.
yeah, surely at some point you have to design your own cards, right? Like that's what I'm feeling for you. I can feel it. It's coming next year.
I've had a couple of offers for collaborations to design that, but here's the deal. Like I am not artistic, I am not creative when it comes to that kind of thing. So mine would be very, if it was left to me, it would be stick men and women, and I would have to have I'd have to have a lot of writing on the cards to say, well, this is what it is. So I would need to work with someone who, with very minimal input from me, could produce masterpieces. And there are some great artists out there, and
Yes.
fantastic people and fantastic deck creators. But as a part of a collaboration, I have been working with Bex Tarot and John Sky Tarot, and we had a kind of 3-to-1 tarot thing going for a while, and we're still there. But we have been looking at kind of creating oracle decks and stuff like that. So it's in the ether. I just I'm waiting for the right opportunity, but I would love to have my own tarot deck.
Yes. If you are an
If someone
artist listening right now and you're like, yes, please
Oh,
reach
yeah,
out to John. I have to tell you that September next year, I'm getting a full vibe on something connected with this, John. So
well, I am going to write that down, Liz. I'm
yeah.
writing it down.
and then in the tarot journal, definitely. And it is
Oh yeah,
when you find the right artist, remember that they're going to pull the information from you. It's not that you need to write a brief for each one.
no,
And you often see beautiful collaborations between here's the message and here's the art. And I find that they're the ones that that I
yeah.
respond to most when it is that collaborative energy as well.
Well,
So
here's the
September
thing.
next year.
I actually have I've got a book written about tarot, so the meanings and all that, and
Oh,
but I just have nothing, and I wrote that like 10 years ago, so it needs some updating. But I already have that. It wouldn't take much to get a deck
John,
and put a little book together.
we're going to keep you accountable for this now. Now
that's
you've got
it.
it live in
Oh,
front of
yikes!
thousands of people.
New Year's resolution, John.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, I should have got that out. Shit.
Yeah,
We
you
let
should
that
be
out.
doing that.
If you're listening to this, if you're sitting in the audience right now, it's like put out the energy there. We're going to call it in for you, John, that
Oh,
the
yeah,
right collaborator and the right publisher, because that's a huge
comes
part of it
along.
as well.
Yeah,
Is
Rockpool,
coming
if
in.
you're listening.
You've already mentioned
Rockpool,
Rockpool. There
yeah.
you go.
Um,
Oh, John,
some of the Rockpool decks are amazing. I love them.
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's the problem, though. I continue to add to the collection and add and add and add, and it's like and then
Uh-huh.
I'll use the one deck for for ages, and I'm thinking, but I have all these other decks.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
but you get drawn to them, you get called to them, and I love them
Oh,
anyway. I just think they're such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Whether it's our Oracle
absolutely.
or Tarot, I just love all sorts of decks, and that
Yeah.
beautiful Northern Lights one. We'll have to
Oh,
put the
yeah.
details in because it's not one I'm familiar with at all. I'm looking forward to
Yeah. I'll
sussing that one out.
I'll give you Joanna's details and her Instagram and stuff like that. Lovely
Great.
deck.
Yeah, we'll add all of that into the show notes. So I know that we have a lot of people here in our audience who have submitted questions to you, John, and they are
Mhm.
chomping at the bit to find out, okay, tell us. We've heard the background information. We're all kind of psyched up and ready to go. But we would love to shift now to doing some of those live impromptu readings. So we
Ooh.
mentioned,
Look, you see
John,
me
we have
shuffling seriously now. Look at
Yeah.
that. Being in business.
and like you're aware, John, that we've had these questions come through, but
Mhm.
you've asked us to just do a kind of pop quiz of which one we're going to go through. So I would love to start with Linda, who had a question. Who Linda's here with us. What do I need to know about my career and the new additional job that I am about to start? So Linda is here, and John, I will leave it to you if you have any
Oh,
additional questions for Linda. If Linda needs to come off mute, please feel free to do so. Welcome, Linda.
Thank you. I'd actually forgotten the question that I asked, so thanks for the reminder.
And that is it. It's like, it's good to remember that because it was a moment in time when you were tuned into the intention of it. So, and John will tune into whatever extra energy is here today. John, over to you.
Linda, I do feel that you are definitely stepping into something a little bit more powerful. You've got the Empress and you also have Justice pulling here. So divine timing is playing a massive role when it comes to what's opening up for you right now, but also what you're in control of. So this comes with a lot of responsibility, but it also gives you a lot of autonomy to make decisions or to make bigger decisions about what you want to do with your career and where you want to go from here. I am going to say your skills are probably worth more, so you have to factor that in, you know. Your experience, what you do and how you do it, you have to make sure you're getting paid correctly for that. So justice is telling you your goal here is to make sure that these scales tip in your favor. Okay. So this is about standing into your power, your creativity, what you bring to the table, and taking your place, your rightful place at the top table. You know, I do feel that anything additional that you're taking on, cards are just telling you to set some really good boundaries here and police them as well. So taking something additional on and getting paid for it is way different than doing a favor from someone and then being expected to do that. It becomes your job. So you have to be a little bit more forceful with your boundaries, what you expect. And this is about good communication here too. So active listening. So, you know, whatever you're being asked to do, say it back to them, but also using your power of influence and delegation as well. So it's not always what you can do, but what you can influence others to do for you or within a situation or how you manage something else. I'm going to focus on the Empress just for a little bit more because I feel that for you, we need to be talking probably a little bit more about autonomy, entrepreneurial skills, what you can do for yourself, how you tap into something or your own abilities. I feel that you don't look at yourself as as someone who is a kind of who can create something out of nothing. And this is kind of telling me that you're tapping into this energy right now that is not only fruitful, but also abundant. So your dreams, your thoughts, your intuition are all on point right now. And I do feel that there may be uncomfortable situations coming in here where the universe is just saying, Linda, is this what you really want? Is this going to benefit you in a way that you thought it would? And if it doesn't, how can you influence the situation so it does? So this is about, again, just reassuring you that you have the power to instigate change, to affect change, and to be the one who steps out from the crowd. So don't be afraid to push the boundaries when it comes to other people and what they expect from you, and protect your own at all costs. But I feel that if I look at time frames, I'm going to say, you know, your journey from now until August, September of next year, one that requires a lot of observation, reflection, and then action, inspired action that comes with it. But Hermit just popping up saying that, you know, the first step on this path is already lit. So, you know, with confidence, set your foot on it. But you're not going to be disappointed, that's for sure. You might have a lot of questions, but you're not going to be disappointed.
I think you've hit on some really key words there: boundaries, communication, and then the thing that popped up for me was being assertive. So that's one of my challenges, is that's what I have to do.
Yeah, because I feel that, you know, with the Empress, people definitely see very agreeable, someone who's very experienced, can do something, but also someone who's open to being taken advantage of. So, well, Linda did this, she knows what she's doing, let's just ask her to do this again. But that kind of comes at a cost, because if they're underestimating you or they're taking you for granted or they're using you, the Empress is telling you that you will have the last laugh. So, you know, how much local knowledge have you got that if you walked away tomorrow, that they would suffer from not having? So this is kind of like your bargaining chip as well. So, you know, don't be afraid to use your power and authority to get something done that benefits you, you know? You know, part of this is, you know, by taking on this job or the additional, what's in it for me? How do I benefit? You know?
Yeah. That's lots to think about. And I do feel like it's a slow burn, so that, you know, over the next 12 months I can see that will unfold.
Yes. I do feel if you push me, I'm going to say I do see elevation and evolution here. So something naturally is going to happen over the next 12 to 15 months that I want to say is almost a given when it comes to change, furthering your career or stepping up that ladder. So you have to ask yourself, how comfortable am I with, taking all this responsibility, being in the limelight or being the one that everyone comes to, but now in a more kind of responsible way. So being the responsible person for some things. So, good luck with that adventure. But just protect your peace at all costs. So make sure you are affirming your boundaries along the way.
Yeah, thank you. That is a hard life lesson to learn too.
Yes, very hard. I lived one for me for many years. So yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I wish you all the best for that.
Well, thank you, John. That's
You're
awesome.
welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, beautiful. It's so wonderful to be, it's a privileged position to be the kind of fly on the wall and hearing, the interaction and the validation, I guess, Linda, from you that this is resonating as well. And we've got quite a few questions to get through. So I might just go to Michelle, who is here with us as well. So Michelle has sent through a question as well, and I'm sure it's one that's out there for a lot of people. I'd like to know if there's any romance in my future.
Okay, Michelle, let's have a look and see. Ooh, okay, what have we got falling out here? Ooh, okay. So, Michelle, right now you've got the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is telling me that there may be a greater focus on what's not in your life right now. So, the no partner, no romance, feeling like maybe you're on a hamster wheel of, all these trolls and that you have to deal with, and then trying to find someone. Five of Cups is telling you, okay, well, let's just acknowledge that. But it is telling you that something is coming in. And we do see maybe a little bit of a buffet. I feel that there's a couple of people coming into your life in a way that's going to be very, I don't know. I do feel influential. I feel balancing. And I think the big thing here is about social life and how active it is, or how often you are mixing with people or out in kind of that energetic field. Because what I do know is Five of Wands is telling me you're not going to meet someone through an app or online or anything like that. Not your vibe. This is energetic. This is out. This is balanced, getting to kind of connect with someone and get a feel for them before you make any decisions. The other thing here as well is I do feel that there's someone coming in, and I feel that we're definitely looking around maybe August time, between now and August 2026. But they have to have a lot of good things going for them. So this is not about you thinking, oh, well, I just want someone, anyone will do. This is about you having a checklist and saying, I am not compromising. So while you might feel, uh, they have really nice personality, they connect with me, they're well established, but, a bit needy, clingy. No, we're not doing that. This is about being able to remain objective in spite of some of the good points. But the goal here is that we are not going backwards. So we are not, letting narcissists in. We're not going to be gaslit into getting into a relationship. We're going to be in control. So, Michelle, you are the alpha person here. So this is allowing you to, put out to the universe what you want and then allow it to respond. But I do feel that your journey from actually December 2025 right through to August 2026 looks very interesting. But we are seeing your cup being filled in a very good way. I also want to say, and this is where I go a little bit off script, but I do feel that we've got I don't know where you are, Linda, but I do feel we've got a European here. I'm seeing, that Western flank, Belgium, Netherlands, that kind of thing. So I do feel we have someone with origins in kind of Western Europe. Now, not UK and Ireland, it's more continental.
Great. Thanks so much, John.
You're welcome. The other thing I'm going to say to you as well is you're not going to be disappointed either. If anything, I feel that for you, reality is going to exceed your expectation. So
Yeah, oh, wow.
yeah, so this is something to look forward to, enjoy, embrace. And I do feel that this next chapter is going to be one that you'll remember for quite some time. And there's longevity to it too. So But I wish you the best of luck with that.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, John, how you said the word buffet. I was like, oh my God, who doesn't want a buffet of options? It's like how wonderful that you have that to look forward to, Michelle. So
Yeah.
it's like we'd love to hear back from people, 6 months from now, what has
Oh, yes.
unfolded. And I'm sure for you, John, as
Please.
well, it will be interesting also. But thank you, Michelle, for sending through the question, because there's always love, career, health. Those are the kinds of things that people are
Mm.
are
Well,
interested in.
here's the other thing, Dianne and Liz, and everyone listening. Do not be afraid to ask an awkward question.
Ooh.
Don't be embarrassed to ask a question, because I can tell you, you're not going to say anything that's going to shock me or anything that I haven't heard before. I have done the whole reel and more. So I'm not going to be shocked. We are not going to judge. This is a judgment-free zone. And our goal here is to help you with the options. So if you are stressed by the options or stressed with what's going on, be it romance, work, whatever, well, we're here to help. So we're not going to be saying, oh, that's a good job and you should stay in it, or he's a good man and you should stay with him. We're not going to say that. Oh, well, unless it comes in. But like, we're not going to force you. There's no force fun here. We're not going to force you to do something. This is about you and options and what resonates with you, and allowing your intuition to help you with that.
I'm now interested to know what the craziest question someone's asked. Have you had any really weird ones?
Yeah, I did. I had a lady who wasn't. She was married, but she was having an affair with two other men.
Ooh,
And
spicy.
she, yeah, and how she phrased it was, she says, "I keep company with others." I went, "Okay." I said, "But let's get to the crux of it." She said, "I travel a lot for work. I am in Paris, a lot, and I am seeing someone there." I went, "Okay, well, that's good for you." She said, "I'm also in New York. We've got an office there. I'm there a lot as well. And I'm seeing someone there." And she said, "I am from London and I'm married." She said, "So I don't know what I'm doing or how to progress here with this." I probably should have said she was from Scotland or something, not London. But anyway, we're in and now. We just keep going. But each of these men were so different. They were fulfilling needs at a different kind of pace and a different way. But what the cards advised her was that two of them will come to a natural ending. And you will
Ooh.
feel yourself pulling away, and who you end up with will be the one who will tick all the boxes or the majority of them. And there's going to be a little bit more of a yin yang connection here. So, giving you the authority, the autonomy, the control that you need to be a professional in your field and do what you want to do. And not feel very secure in that. So not feel like you have to be constantly checking in with someone. So he with the crux is she ended up in New York with the guy from New York.
Wow.
Ooh.
You know all the gossip, John.
I know all the gossip.
All the gossip.
I
I
also
love
forget
that
it all
too.
as well. What makes me anxious is when I read for someone, they say, "Oh, well, you read for me before," and I'm thinking,
Oh.
no, I hope it
Can't
was all
remember.
good.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
remember everything. I remember little bits of things, and I do. I had two clients with the same name, first and last name, and both of them are repeat customers. So, but I never knew who I'm reading for until they pop up on the screen, because this is how lazy I am. I could just check their email address. I don't even do that. So when people say, "Oh, he's online poking around," trust me, I am not. I'm more likely lying on my
Yeah.
bed scrolling through TikTok. That's my pastime. So,
Yeah. I think every reading is a moment in time too. It's
every
like,
reading
so
is a
if you
moment in time.
do all of the research and that, it's feeding into what you don't necessarily need
Yeah.
to
Oh
know.
no. It's
We're going to
better to go off the
continue. Oh,
cuff.
sorry. Go ahead, John.
No, better to go off the cuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. And on off the cuff, I'm going to go to Bronwyn, who is here with us for the next question. So Bronwyn's question was, what are the next steps I should take career-wise? I'd like to pursue my interests rather than stay in my current job. So what do I need to do to make this happen?
Okay, well, Bronwyn, straight away the Ace of Wands fell out of the deck while Dianne was reading your question. So I feel that there's a big emphasis for you on your own creative flair, your own kind of what you can do with the skills that you have and how you can expand them in a way that will be successful, make you feel very confident and comfortable. But you also have the 10 of Wands. So you are someone who is not happy unless they are doing a lot. So all, you know, why am I feeling good? Oh, there's more things I need to do. So this is about not being too kind of focused on the outcome, but rather on all the steps that get you there. If I just switch this a little bit, I feel that right now, I do feel that maybe current employment or current job is getting on your nerves. I feel that you're dealing with a level of incompetency that is having you screaming on the inside and thinking, oh my God, like, do these people not learn from anything? I've taught all these people how to fish for many times, but yet they're still looking for something to eat. So I feel that that energy may be pulling you in a new way. We also have the King of Swords here. So we are definitely, that what once suited you no longer does when it comes to corporate land and that kind of stuff. And we are seeing, I'm going to say, your face cannot hide what you feel. So when someone's talking rubbish about, KPIs and bottom line and all that, I do feel that you're thinking, oh my God, I wish he'd just shut up, or do his job or do something. I also feel that, I don't know, I feel the universe is giving you many signs, Bronwyn, that it's time to, trust yourself and take a leap of faith and do something, because you've got the world here. So there's a lot of things for you yet to experience. The world is still your oyster, but I do feel that right now, I'm going to say the next probably 10 weeks, so up to February time, I feel that you need to be very observant as to who is on your team, who is cheerleading you, and who is poking holes in what you try to do and how you do it. I'm going to say both in your kind of corporate work and in your creative flair. Something in the creative side, I do see, a little bit more of a solitary existence. So you're going to have to make that kind of disconnection from being in hustle and bustle and a lot expected of you to holding yourself accountable for stuff. So to make sure that you're following a plan and not like me lying on bed scrolling through TikTok, but rather using your skills and putting everything to good use. So you have that kind of knack. But I do feel that, the pull to get out of the rat race to choose your own adventure is just realigning you with your purpose, with that nostalgic energy from when you were a kid, thinking, I'm going to be the changer of the world and do great things. And the cards are definitely agreeing with you. So I feel, I'm going to say that the entire of 2026, beginning from January. So you're on a natural close here. So your progression for the rest of 2025, something changes early in January 26 to give you more courage to take that leap and do something. The other thing as well, you will be doing two at once. So there will be a natural kind of ending of one, as I said, to move into the other. So you will be doing both for a certain amount of time. Can I ask you a question, if you don't mind? What is it that you want to do, or what is it that you would like to do?
I am in corporate. You're right with that. It's more into like body. Like I am a qualified massage therapist and Reiki,
Okay.
and I've just recently got my Vedic meditation teacher training completed. So yeah, moving
So
into that.
you're jumping out of corporate and into holistic. I'm going to
Yes.
say I will give it a 10 out of 10, but you will do both for a little while. I just feel that it's the corporate energy. It is literally like you're putting a mask on as you enter the office or log onto your computer, and then
Exhausting.
wanting to rip it off 5 minutes in. So yeah, let the universe guide you here. It's not going to lead you astray. But I wish you best of luck for that.
Thank you. It's the trust thing. Thank you very much. That
Oh
makes a
yeah,
lot of sense.
yeah.
John has been there.
In
as,
there,
as have many of us. It's that
yeah.
jumping off the cliff moment and trusting ourselves. But
Trusting.
wonderful to
Yeah.
get such guidance, and even just the corporate, knowing the energy that was coming through as well. So thank you, John, and thank you, Bronwyn, for sending that in, and hopefully that helps you build that level of trust for
It
what's
will.
coming in 2026. We're going to shift now to a different type of question. So Gloria, who is here with us, Gloria's question is, can you give me any guidance on my health? So health is always an important question for people as well.
Okay, let's have a look and see. Okay, just by kind of for ethical reasons, I just have to acknowledge, or I am not a doctor, I'm not medically trained, but I will give you best advice that I see here. So we've got a few cards that have fallen out. And we've got the Queen of Swords and the Seven of Cups kicking things off. So I feel from a health perspective, Gloria, it is paramount that you do not leave anything on the long finger. So if you are feeling unwell, if there's something that is worrying you, cards are saying ease the burden, talk to someone, seek advice. What I will say is, I feel that health in general for you requires a little bit of an overhaul. So lifestyle, environment, all these things are kind of feeding in together here. So I feel that there's a lot of things that minor changes over a lot of things will have maximum impact, positive impact, because you have the Page of Wands, which is a great card because he's telling you that there is a solution to the issue and it literally is giving you years back. So it's reigniting that passion for living, to do something, to get out there, be in control of what you do and how you do it, but also to take control as well and be inspired to do it. And you've got the Six of Wands, which is a victory card. So I feel that so long as you are proactive and that you are making health a priority and paying attention to what's being said to you, I do feel that you will manage and get on things very well. I kind of want to tell you not to worry. So the goal here is not to allow health anxiety to set in, where you feel I cannot do something because the reality is that, okay, well, I cannot do it that way, but I can do it another way. So this is about making sure that you have the passion to get things going the way that you want, and that you are the one driving the horse here. So go with it. There are a couple of things I just want to hint on here as well. Queen of Swords tells me that you don't like gray area. So tell me what I need to do and I will do it. Or if I'm not happy, I'm going to tell you why I'm not happy and let's work on it. So you don't suffer fools gladly. So you're not going to be someone who, compromises or overly compromises to make someone else happy who is ungrateful. And I do feel that life has taught you that you need to look after number one first and make sure that you're happy, you're content. And from that kind of fulfillment position, then you can help others. Because I just think the Page of Wands and the Six of Wands, I think the tide is turning here, and that you have to ask yourself or add the little caveat, what's in this for me? So when I do get what I'm looking for, what's in it for me? How do I benefit from this? And I feel from a health perspective, the what's in it for me is the world's my oyster. I can do whatever I want. I don't have to worry. But are there things I need to change? Yes, there are. And I need to emotionally detach myself from things that are making me unwell. So I feel that there are hints of, anxiety and overthinking here. But I feel in general, I feel you're very positive. So you do have that I get knocked down, but I get up again energy. And I think that that's kind of your mantra. So there's nothing that the universe can throw at you that you will not overcome, but you have to be the one telling yourself that as well. So the mantra is, there's nothing the universe can throw at me that I can't overcome, because I'm objective, resourceful, clever, intelligent, and I am very practical about how I move through things. In the greater scheme of things, cards, they show here, like, you've had a lot of challenges in life in general, and you've overcome a lot of things. So anything that's coming your way is, I think, will be minor compared to what you've dealt with in the past. Okay. Does that
So
make sense?
positive.
Mm.
That is so positive. That's amazing. You're just spot on.
Good. That's what we're looking for. So the outcome here is to be inspired about what you do for health and be in control of it. And this is about marrying the alternative with the scientific and just making yourself happy doing what needs to be done. But I do feel you will be surprised by how things open up for you. The other thing I just want to hint at as well, do you work in holistic things or Reiki or anything like that?
No, I don't.
I feel that that's about to change. I feel something's going to pique your interest. And I feel that that's why we have this double page here. This is about, a youthful look at change and being in control and taking control of your health. I think it was it Bronwyn who said something about what she just finished. I can't remember what you said, but I liked it.
Ayurvedic?
That's the one. I think
Yeah.
that's going to be for some reason that's going to pique interest or it's going to set you on a little journey. You could be hooking in with Bronwyn, who knows? But that's going to write, if you write nothing else down, write Ayurvedic down, because I feel that's going to be instrumental.
That's
With
really
all of that.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. And you just got things so right, because I do feel sometimes that I'm not going to deal with my health, but then to pick myself back up and say, no, you can deal with this. Come on, just get on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Queen of Swords, I feel you have to, and I think I said it with Linda as well, the biggest thing here is protecting your boundaries. So, doing what's comfortable for you and then asking yourself, am I staying in this comfort zone or do I need to step outside that a little bit more? And I do feel that you have that good reasoning that, okay, if I rip the plaster off now, it means I can, get in that swimming pool quicker, that kind of thing. So you're not going to make the wrong decisions. You're definitely in control. But the next year for you is interesting in many things.
Oh, fantastic, John. Thank you. And Gloria, thank you for asking the questions, because I know, again, it's like there are certain themes that people always want to know about, health, about relationships, about careers. Now, we would love to go through all of the questions that were submitted, but we are constrained by time as well. But John, we would love to know, going into 2026, we would love, love, love to get a few cards pulled for, like, with collective energy, to just say, well, what is ahead for, and I guess first and foremost for the people who have joined here tonight, like if that's the kind of first circle, and then more broadly for our listener base and all those people who are out there who are spiritual as fuck, we would love to know what's in store for 2026.
Make
Okay,
it good,
so
John. We're ready for some positivity.
We might make you shuffle the cards.
Oh yeah, if that comes out now, walking out.
Reshuffle.
Okay, so for our collective here, let's see what we can expect, or the overall theme of 2026 for our little gathering here right now. Ooh. Okay, well, the first thing that we have here is we are reprioritizing. We are stepping into 2026, taking a leap of faith to do things our way. We are not going to feel overwhelmed to make other people happy. We are not going to dim our sparkle so other people can outshine us, even though their shine is duller than ours. We are taking control of what we do and how we do it, but also we're not looking for accolades for this either. So we're going to come what may. So if we are successful, we will enjoy it. If we are not, we are going to learn from it. The thing that we're not going to do is allow ourselves to enforce limiting beliefs to stop us from taking the leap of faith. So as we process through the rest of 2025, we are letting go of anything that's holding us back so we can, with courage and without fear, step forward. But I feel the biggest theme for our collective here is reprioritizing in a way that benefits you. So what's in it for me? How do I make myself the happiest? How do I make myself the most abundant and productive? And then from that, who can I help? Whose cup can I fill once mine is overflowing? So to keep that in mind. There are some within this little collective who I feel are about to make some major changes. So those of you who asked about career, reality will exceed your expectations, but you are the one taking the leap of faith to do it. The others in this collective, you might actually feel that you're not recognizing your present. So you are almost like in a Truman Show and you're thinking, oh my, where's the door? I need to get out of this. So again, the universe making you just realize that there is no tether. You are not tethered to anything. So you are free to choose your own adventure. And I feel that 2026 is going to be a milestone year for a lot of people in this little collective here. So oh God, I hope I'm reading for myself.
Oh, for all of us. And John, on that, I just want to let you know, because we didn't get a chance to go to all of the questions, but there was a running theme with the remaining questions all around career. And I think you have, through this, have been able to provide some guidance to those that didn't get the opportunity to have their cards read. So that is fantastic. And of course,
Watch
that's
this
also
space,
of interest to Liz and I too. It's always great to know what's coming.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, but we will be in control. I also feel not only do we have the courage, but we have the strength and power to do it as well. So we're going to see different versions of ourselves emerging here. So we go to bed on the 31st of October, a caterpillar. We wake up on the 1st of January, a butterfly. So, or probably a moth in my scenario, but either or.
Only butterflies, only butterflies.
So for the spiritual AF in general, well, another 7 just popping up here with the Chariot. So what have we got here? Oh, we've got the Chariot and the Queen of Wands. Formidable pairing. 2026 is going to be a full steam ahead year. So this is about creation, new beginning, doing things your way, mother of invention or father of invention, whichever you want to call it. But we are going to be our own sun. So we're going to be what we see here. This is my universe. So I'm going to be my sun, my moon, my stars, and I'm going to allow myself to plant the seeds. I'm going to nourish them, and I'm going to capitalize on it. So not only can I work through from seed to harvest, but I also have the knowledge to know that the seeds you plant today will not yield a harvest today. So I will find other things to be involved in. So this is about multitasking in a way that's allowing your hope for dreams and aspirations to manifest in the tangible world. And part of that is making peace with the past. So we're not carrying anything over. So our spiritual community here, this is about working on letting go of attachment, breaking bad habits, moving forward, and stepping into your own ability to create. And whatever that is, whether it's creating a new job opportunity or manifesting a new job opportunity, planting the seeds now is definitely going to yield you something good in 2026. We also have the lovers as well. So your communication style is changing here too. So we are calling more people out on their BS. We are not just nodding our heads and going, yeah, yeah, yeah. We're going, actually, that's not how it is at all. And, it is not our job to re-educate people, but when it benefits us, yeah, we'll step in and do it. The Chariot to the lovers, so we're going one back, 7 to the 6. This is about working in cycles, and sometimes we do have to take a detour in order to get what we're looking for. So we might find that practically we're moving full steam ahead, but then we need to check in with people. We need to make sure that there's trustworthy communication and that someone's not blowing smoke or smoke and mirrors. So discernment, judgment, honesty, all good things. But 2026 is going to be a good one for everyone.
Oh, I love that. And I do think numerologically it is a 1 year as well. So it just
There we go.
feels like there's lots of different energies coming together right now. And it's like, who doesn't want to hear that it's going to be a great year?
Yeah.
So thank
Yeah.
you, John.
The
Fantastic.
creative, I think it's going to be a year for creatives and spiritual people. So the alternatives. So if you're a billionaire tech guy, I would say watch out. It's not going to be your year, pal.
Oh, okay.
Luckily, I'm no tech billionaire, so there we go.
So,
Yes. Oh my God, it's so good to hear that positive news. I feel like that's the perfect end to such an amazing event. John, thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you.
And
I've
Merry
thoroughly enjoyed it.
Christmas. Yes, wow.
Yes.
To all of our attendees, I know we've got some of our Renegade members here as well. To all of our listeners, it's been so good. It's been a beautiful year, Dianne, hasn't it? We've just interviewed amazing people, and to end the year like this is just perfect. On that note, the wonderful John has an incredible offer for readings that we're going to pop into the notes. And for me, I've had a lot of tarot readings over the years, and I remember thinking this exact same thing when we interviewed you last time. You are so great with the information. I feel like you say 2 sentences and it tells me like a year worth of information. You've got a really great way of interpreting the cards. And I feel like, yeah, if you are feeling drawn to John, this is a really good opportunity just to take the leap and go and get yourself a reading. So, John, once again, thank you so much for everything that you've given our community the last year.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Being surrounded by like-minded people it is a cushion. It's a comfort zone, and I thoroughly enjoy it. So thanks for having me.
Oh, amazing. Thank you, John. If you have tuned in and listened, please, share your thoughts on this episode. And obviously, go to the show notes so you can follow John. And yeah, if you're not yet a Spiritual Renegade member, this is your chance as well. It is Christmas. Dianne and I love to give gifts. So we do have a membership offer as well if you'd like to join the clan and be around more like-minded people. So we have a discounted offer. And anyone that joins to become a member is going to get one of our limited edition Spiritual AF necklaces as well, which are really, really cool. Coming in gold and silver. Now, everybody wants one. So quick jump onto the offer fast. The details are in the show notes as well. Thank you
Can I just
so much. Yes,
Can I
John.
just add one thing in? Just a little surprise. So we had 9 people on the call. So Dianne, Liz, if you put the 9 people's name in a wheel picker, pick one, and I will give them a reading for free.
Oh, John, that is
Oh,
so generous of you. And
Merry
there's
Christmas.
there's a happy Christmas present. Fantastic.
kind.
Thank you,
Aw.
John. Like that, you're a generous spirit. And I have to say, when we go back to the beginning of the interview and talking about trolls and stuff like that, it does not surprise me that you don't have any trolls because you have the most likable, the most beautiful energy. And we cannot thank you enough for, taking this time out of your day to spend with us, with our community and with our listeners. And of course, we just encourage everybody to get to know John more intimately, to, go follow, be one of the 77,000 followers that you already have on Instagram. I just if you want to hear those beautifully uplifting messages, because I just love how you frame your messages. They're always such beautiful energy, and I always leave with a smile on my face. And who doesn't need that on a daily basis? That little lift, that little thing and now we have got this for our listeners bringing into 2026. So thank you, John.
Oh, thanks, John.
Very welcome.
And we've only got the countdown now until Santa Claus arrives. So make sure you've got your list ready, Don't forget to do that. It's been such an amazing 12 months. We can't wait to hit the new year. We've got, obviously, another amazing episode coming very, very soon. So make sure you tune in. Have a wonderful Christmas, everyone. And we will see you in 2026.
If you have enjoyed this episode or are a die-hard fan of the show, make sure to subscribe right now so you don't miss out on future episodes. And to share the love, you can give us an awesome 5-star review.
Help us create a world that is spiritual as fuck.